What is going on, guys? Quad MFT here, your new favorite YouTuber, bringing you a dual commentary with my dad.
Hello, son.
Hello, father.
So what do we got going on here today?
Just a really old gameplay that I actually had saved up on my HD PVR and my my hard drive. So it's really long. It's like 10 minutes, 50-something seconds, and I'm not sure how well I do. As you can tell, I'm using the troll guns, which are the FMG9s. I've changed my ways. I don't even know what level I am. I'm probably a pretty low level. And assassin. So, you know, I don't use that anymore. I use a pistol instead because I prefer the pistol. I feel like I can snap on someone really fast, and it pulls out really fast, especially with Sleight of Hand Pro, because if you guys do not know, the Pro version of Sleight of Hand makes you pull out guns faster. And I'm using the MP7, rocking suppressor and rapid fire. Probably my favorite gun in the game.
Well, I know you get more kills in this game than I get in like 5 games, so you tear it up here.
Yeah, well, sort of. I mean, it's not the best kill to death ratio. It's like a 7.1.
Yeah, well, yeah. Mine's sure. Always starts. My kill to death ratio always starts with something that says point. So you know, it's a little bit different than yours. But I'm trying to learn. Trying to learn to be patient. Trying to learn to just patrol an area, not to just rush to B or rush to whatever. So although I have to say that I have to give props to MW3, they did change the spawns, at least in domination. So I feel like it's a little bit easier to approach my enemies. Still not good at my aim down sight. But hey, I was thinking we could talk a little bit about our trip earlier this year when we went to Brazil, because it's been sticking in my head, man. It's a different country, it's a different world. What do you think?
It was a very new experience. I actually killed myself with the Predator right there for you guys, because I just wanted to do that just to show how pro I am.
Yeah, does that count as like a part of your double kill, or was that like a triple?
That was a double.
Oh,
well,
count you?
If I count me, then I got a triple. I got a triple kill, guys.
Okay, no, I gotta say, when we went to Brazil, I was expecting my son would be like, "Wow, this is amazing! It's a different country, different money, different language, all these different things. I hope he finds some real value, and he knows that America is really a wonderful place, and other countries really aren't quite as special as America." But on our plane ride over, I realized the most valuable thing that he loved, and that was the fact that we got Dish on-demand satellite while we were traveling.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, okay. Every once in a while, there's a strong wind in my house, and my dish, you know, obviously gets moved by the wind, and we lose a little bit of reception. How is it that we can travel? What is it, like 500 miles an hour, and they don't lose reception at all? I mean, come on. I have to admit, I was kind of impressed too. Paid the extra, whatever it was, $7.99 or whatever, and we watched it the whole way to Brazil. That's when we weren't sleeping. So we arrived there, and did you know, the first thing you notice is the fact that they obviously don't speak English. Pop quiz. What do they speak?
They speak Brazilian.
Yes, Brazilian, or commonly known as Portuguese. Portuguese.
Yeah.
Which I know a little bit of Spanish, so I was able to get around, but we really had interpreters there that helped us along the time.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was kind of cool. I mean,
it was different, definitely different.
It was definitely different. You know, obviously the time zones are all different and everything. But you know, we arrived there.
Extremely humid, like no other.
Yeah. Like you walk outside and I wear glasses, and the glasses would steam up. And it was a lot different than the West Coast. So, but the other thing we realized is that it is different. We some guys was giving us a tour around, and he told us about when. Basically, he pulled up to a stoplight, and guys pulled him out of his car, and they grabbed him. They took him hostage, and you'd think his wife would, you know, be able to just call the police and get help, but they really didn't care. And so that's apparently what they do in Brazil.
Yeah,
so
let's explain the police. It's completely different from how we have police here. They're on, most of the time, I'm pretty sure they're on our side. You guys may not feel like that sometimes, but they're on our side.
Compared to Brazil.
Yeah.
They're totally on
In Brazil, here's the story. Let me break it down for you. The police are just another public enemy. They are out there to steal your money. They're there to take you and kill you or something like that.
Yeah, there's no one watching the police.
Yeah, the police are just paid assassins.
Yeah, I mean, basically what happened was the guy got kidnapped. They tried to ransom his family for money, see whatever money they could have. So they tried to contact him. They didn't have a lot of money, so couldn't really get much from him. In the middle of the night, while he was in a favela, which is a slum.
Like you guys know the map on favela in Modern Warfare 2 kind of was like that.
It does kind of look like that. Only that those buildings are much more sophisticated. They're not as primitive, let's say. But anyway, he was in one of those places. In the middle of the night, he escaped. And the way he escaped is he jumped out. And they don't have gutters and things like we have. Their sewers actually are open. So he jumps out into the sewage, which is, if you don't know what sewage is, ask your mom and dad. He was in the sewage, and he was hanging out for several hours, and finally found an opportunity to come up out of the goo. And when he did, he ran to the police station. And he said, "Hey, these guys, they just kidnapped me. They're obviously bad gangster types. I can take them to you and you can arrest them." And the police said, "Well, how much money you got?" He said, "I don't have money." He said, "Well, you just go home." So the police did not care.
They offered to, if he would have given them enough money, they would have gone out and just killed him.
Yeah, they said, "We'll go kill him if you want." Which is like, what? I mean, this is one of the police. I mean, sometimes maybe our police feel like they want to, or we would want them to, but our police don't really, at least traditionally, work like that. So that was really an amazing story, and it made you realize that we talked to some other people that brought their kids there.
Yeah.
And they said, if something bad happens, don't go to the police. Come to us, and we'll figure it out. Whereas usually when I'm raising my kids, I'm like, hey, if something happens, go to a guy in a uniform with a gun and a badge, and he'll make sure that things happen right for you.
What if the guy in the uniform is like in Al-Qaeda?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's kind of what it was. Is the gangs have their own rules, and the police have their own rules, and they kind of equally ignore each other or decide who's going to rule the world. So you can't really trust the police to go, all right, well, we're going to do it right, or at least when people are looking, we're going to do it right. So yeah, that was the first thing. So we were always very cautious.
Yeah, tell them about the time where we were in the favela and how they like missionaries and
yeah, we were fortunate.
And so they liked us. We were in the ghetto of the ghetto of the ghetto
of the ghetto at night. And normally you don't go to the favelas. As a matter of fact, I've heard something recently where they're like, yeah, that's fine, go to Brazil, but don't go to the favelas. Well, we spent almost all our time in the favelas because we were hosted by some missionaries who we were kind of learning what they do and talking to them and stuff like that. And so we went to the favelas, and we wore our little T-shirt that said we were with the mission, and we hung out with the missionary people. And
yeah, and it's also considered to be the third most dangerous place in the world where we went.
Yeah, the favelas. Yeah, and one of the top one, if not top two areas of poverty. But anyway, so we were hanging out there, and at one point in the night we were walking around the streets, and they're like, don't put away the camera, don't take pictures, don't take video, because those guys right there, 4 feet away from you, they're selling drugs. And if you take a picture of them, they're part of the gang, and they're going to take you. So like, okay, we'll keep the cameras away.
Yeah, there was like 4 of them.
Yeah, so I mean, there was teenage guys doing business, but man, they're hooked up, man. They're connected. They would have killed us if they were taking pictures because it's YouTube. I don't know how this works. I'm sure people can put stuff on YouTube somehow. Anyway, so the other thing they like to do is when we first got there, at the first night, they took us downtown. And downtown there's prostitution, and it's actually sponsored by the police, which is interesting because it's, I guess, legal there if the police sponsor it. But anyway, they took us to part of the town where there was these beautiful women. We drove by them, and they were standing on the side of the street. I mean, I gotta say, I'm a married man, and we didn't partake in any of the wares that these beautiful ladies were selling, but they had some killer bodies, and they would stare you down, and we were 3 feet away from them driving by, just looking at them, checking them out, and they're checking us out. We were in like a huge tour bus. Yeah, well, a huge, probably 8, 10, 12 seats in that van. But anyway, so they're looking at us, we're looking at them, and the people who were driving us there are like, check them out, they're pretty, and we're like, yeah, they're beautiful. And then the next thing they tell us is that they're not women, they're men. So there were these transvestites that. They were nice up top, but down below they had their twig and berries. And if you were going to participate in some activities with the ladies, you would find out that they were not ladies.
Yeah.
So that was a startling thing. People would have decided to buy what they were selling, they would have been sorely surprised. So yeah, when we went, what's that movie that came out right after that was like set in Brazil?
Oh, it's called Fast 5.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool to see after we'd been there.
Yep, second one this game.
Does it take 3 to shoot those down? 2 to shoot those
2, that's AC-130. That's what I use now.
AC-130, yeah, because I'm always shooting them down. I can't resist, man. I can't shoot people, so I just shoot the airplanes.
You walking sand turret.
That's me. So yeah. So the other thing we noticed, it was really poor there, man. Some people, they lived in just like they had a 2x4 over their head and metal sheet grate metal, just as their roof, and didn't have running water, and they peed in the outside. And, yeah, it was quite a bummer. But hey, looks like that's about it.
So thanks for watching, guys. Always pulling out the victory. Like if you enjoyed, and always remember to subscribe for more of these dual commentaries and normal commentaries by myself. Later, guys.
We are out of here.